I am Reynelda Jones, a mental health therapist who thinks outside the box. I'm connecting with passionate individuals using their talents to help the community. I call them visionaries and trailblazers. Join me as I connect with them today. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me today. For those who are new or even continued followers or subscribers, I'm Reynelda Jones. I am the owner of A Solution B located in Grand Rapids, Michigan. And today I have Miss Linda Jones with me. So just a little bit about Miss Linda Jones. She is the president and founder of the Grand Rapids Co-op. And there are lots of questions out there. People want to know what it's all about. And I am also, seeking to talk with people who I feel are trailblazers. They have a unique perspective about their community or how to help their community. And Linda Jones was one of those people. So welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Reynelda. I'm so happy to be here. I just want to make sure everybody understands it's the Grand Rapids Food Co-op. So we have a specific mission in the area of food.
Yes. Understood.
All right.
So what exactly is a co-op? Can you explain that to the viewers?
Yeah. A co-op is a business model that can happen in any area of business. And what the co-op is structured as is it's a democratic ownership. So all the people who have an ownership in that business, that cooperative business, have an equal vote in what happens with that business. So it's trying to bring the democracy to capitalism. So it's blending those two together in a way that I think is much better for the community and for the country than regular capitalism, where one person can just get all the profits from workers and not share back with the workers.
Okay. And so my understanding with the Grand Rapids Food Co-op is that no matter how much is invested per person, they all have equal rights or say in the food co-op.
Yeah, that's how it works.
Great.
And we do have, just like the government, there's a representative body that's kind of moving everything along. So the co-ops also elect a board, and the board is really looking at day-to-day operations, making sure everything is going well, but major decisions they'll bring back to the whole community. And when profits are made, those are shared equitably through the community of people who are a part of the co-op.
Oh, nice. Okay. So what is your story? What made you interested in even being a founder of this type of model?
Insanity, no. If I had known how many years it takes to make a co-op, I might have thought twice, but actually I'm really thankful I'm doing it. I worked in my professional life as a choir director and a music teacher, mostly elementary music. And we moved to Grand Rapids in 2015 after my son and his wife started having children. Grandkids are a big draw. A lot of grandparents move to be closer when that happens.
Yeah. Congratulations on your expanded family.
Yeah. Jim grew up in Grand Rapids, and Jamie and Eric's my son, had decided to settle in Grand Rapids. So we thought, all right, let's go back to Jim's hometown. And so we got a house in Heritage Hill. You can kind of see it behind me here.
Beautiful.
And I looked around at the grocery options. When you're living this close to downtown, they're very limited. You pretty much have to get on the freeway to get out to a Meijer. And just our general grocery choices are basically between Spartan Nash, Walmart, Meijer, and a few smaller like Ken's Market and the health food store. And so it just seemed like this town was ripe for having a food co-op. And I happened to mention it at a meeting where another woman was there, Deborah Ide. And I just said, I think Grand Rapids needs a food co-op. And she said, you're right, it does. And
Yeah.
she'd lived here longer than me and was a community organizer in the Creston neighborhood. And so I figured, well, if she agrees with me, where two or more are gathered, something can happen. So
Absolutely.
we started meeting, found out that there was a conference coming up right away that supported startup food co-ops. So we went down to that conference in Bloomington, realized, wow, there's a process, there's a way to do this, there's support, there's other people doing this around the country. Let's see if people in Grand Rapids are interested. So we came back, we kind of started calling ourselves the Grand Rapids Food Co-op Initiative just to see. And I posted a Facebook page about it, and the likes started pouring in. And we thought, okay, there's interest in this. So it's kind of gone from there.
Okay, nice. So you recognize that there was a shortage in grocery stores where there's fresh produce, which we call food deserts. There's a lot of them. The area I grew up in actually had a grocery store like a block over. It is now the Hall Street Bakery, but that was a grocery store growing up. So food deserts
Exactly.
can kind of shift throughout, but it sounds like there's a lot of food deserts in the United States. They're hosting conferences trying to find ways to address this issue.
Yeah.
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 Okay. How many food co-ops are there that you're aware of, if you know?
In the state, in
Yeah,
Michigan.
in Michigan.
Well, Traverse City has a co-op, and they have two locations now.
Oh, wow.
That's called Oriana. Kalamazoo has People's Food Co-op. Mount Pleasant has a co-op. Petoskey has a co-op. Marquette has a co-op. Detroit's got a new co-op starting up called the Detroit Food Commons. They've been working on it
Wow.
for over a decade. And they
Wow.
started out as an urban garden called D-Town Farms. That was a good
Mm,
amount of acreage. Um,
okay.
and so from that, they've finally are getting their store under construction. And North Flint, which was a completely abandoned by grocery stores,
Mm.
they are under construction for
Oh,
their
nice.
new co-op grocery store.
Nice.
So this is a great way for communities to come together. If they want change, they can make it themselves and profit from it,
Mm-hmm.
owning it themselves, not waiting for a handout, not waiting even for a hand up, just coming together, pooling our resources, and owning it together. So that, yeah, to me, it's the answer to so many problems that we're
Yeah.
facing in the country right now.
Yeah. So I've heard a theme here that it takes years to develop a food co-op. And so one of the questions that I see on your frequently asked questions page on your website, which I'll be showing briefly in a second, one of the questions is, why isn't there a physical location if all these people are investing? So tell me a little bit about that.
It's a really good question. I think it's what most people are really wondering about. And I think a lot of people are thinking, well, I'll join once the store opens, because they want to sort of have proof that it's
Mhm.
gonna open.
Yeah.
So there are two things to sort of answer that question. One is, when you buy your share in the co-op, you can ask for that share back at any time. And if the co-op doesn't end up happening for whatever reason, then we will return the shares minus the money we've spent, trying to promote it. But we're really being frugal and, trying to shepherd the money as best we can. The initial share that you buy is a seed money. It's a seed investment, but it's not the total amount we're going to need for the store build out. The project for a 10,000 square foot store at $250 a share, or $25 a share if you're a low income food for all owner, that won't cover the 3 to 5 million, who knows, with inflation, that we're going to need.
Mm-hmm.
So so we're waiting to have enough owners so that we know we've got the pool of investors to draw from moving forward. And we figure once we get to about 800 owners, and we're up to 400 and almost 450 now. So once we get to about 800 owners, then we feel like, okay, we've got enough of the community invested. They believe in this vision. And right now, yes, it is a vision, but it's a vision. It's not just, we don't know what we're doing. No, we know
Yeah.
what we're doing. We know where we're headed. We have great leadership. And we have invested owners who are helping us out with their volunteer hours and their money. So we find a location at that point, sign a lease. Now we know what numbers we're working with, how much we need for the build out. Then we do an owner loan drive. So the owners who can afford to loan us money with interest rate, so they get a return. So it's like a real estate investment in their own community with in the place that matters to them, rather than, I guess I'll buy a share in Shell and see what happens. This
Right.
is, a real way to invest here locally to make a difference for us. And once we get that loan fund completed, then we take that money and show the bank, look, we got community invested this much, loan us the rest. Then we move forward, build out, hiring the early staff, all of that.
Good. I mean, one of the things I have heard is that it takes money to receive money. So, like, you have to show that you have the community invested
Right,
to be able to get additional funds to build this out.
right, right. We are exploring grants from the government. USDA has some possibilities. There's this ARPA money, which may, by the time this airs, we'll know whether we got any of that money. We have applied for that money through the county. So we'll see if we get some help that way. But I think our culture is so trained to be consumers. And so we just figure everything just happens and we show up and shop. And this is really trying to encourage us all to kind of take another look at that attitude and think, how are we not just consumers, but how are we citizens? And what are we contributing to our community to make it better? And
Absolutely.
if we have that kind of heart-centered mind, thought, rather than what's in it for me, what am I going to get out of it? Where can I find the cheapest banana? Rather, we think, how am I supporting our food web so it's strong in case there's an emergency? How am I making sure people who don't have cars, who live in the inner city, can get to quality food? Those kind of questions. And then looking at the co-op and saying, oh, wow, this kind of checks all those boxes.
You make some very good points. If you're watching this, make sure you put your questions and comments down below, because this is important information. If you want to have a say-so of the food that's in your community, this is something to think about or to even join. So, Linda, do you have to be in Grand Rapids to be an investor?
You don't have to be in Grand Rapids. You need to live in the state of Michigan to be an investor who gets a return on their investment.
Okay.
Anybody in the country can join as an owner if you just want to support what we're doing. And that'd be great. But mostly we're having ownership from the Grand Rapids area and up to Rockford, down to what's south of here, Wyoming, Granville. Some folks are joining from there, but mostly it's people live right in Grand Rapids.
Okay. So on your site, one of the things that's also in the vision mentions equity and, accessibility for everyone. So what are different ways or partnerships that you're doing to make sure that people of all races, all cultures, beliefs have access to this?
Great question. And we are very, very conscious of that and want this co-op to be a place where everyone knows they're welcome, knows they have equal power, which is a huge thing. And just in our structure, everyone has equal power. It's not like we give it.
Mhm.
It's just a part of the way co-ops are structured. So we are partnering closely with the neighborhood organization on the south side called Seeds of Promise, and attending their functions, and their assistant director has joined as a member of the food co-op. I'm going to be sitting on their business development circle that they're starting up for the Madison Square Business
Oh.
District. And really, together, we're going to be pushing this concept of cooperation in business
Mhm.
model to the businesses that might be wanting to start up down in Madison Square. We're also working with the Creston neighborhood, East Hills, Hartside. I just met with one of the business owners in the Hartside district. So I think that's going to start really improving how much we can communicate with them and show up at their monthly meetings.
Mhm.
We are hurting right now for Black leadership on our top circle. We've been asking, and I know I've asked you, Reynelda, if you're interested. So that's something we just continually are searching. And it's
Mhm.
hard. Everybody's so busy with everything they're doing, especially people trying to make change in the world right now.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's okay. It doesn't mean just because right this minute we don't have Black leadership on top circle, doesn't mean we're not listening and being responsive and hearing any concerns that folks have in the direction we're taking.
Mm.
We also have our ownership structure. We've structured it carefully so that money is not a deciding factor whether you can become an owner or not. We do have our standard share that's $250 for those who are able to buy their share at that rate. We also have the food for all share if you're low income. And we sort of have some guidelines what low income means on the website when you're filling out your application. But we don't ask you to prove your low income at this
Mhm.
point. Just say, if you are, you can buy your share for $25 so that it's affordable for you. You have the same voting rights as every other owner. There's absolutely no difference. And if your income level is such that you don't have $25 to be able to buy your share, we have a scholarship fund that can be used to access your share money that you need. So anyone who wants to join, no matter your income level, should be able to join. Just fill out the application and check off which kind of share you're getting.
I like that there are so many ways to be a part of this food co-op. I think it's amazing that it's that accessible for everyone, even if income is a barrier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Because that's what we're about, serving this community. And we know that people have different levels of income right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the other thing is, once the store opens, I know the Top Circle will be considering how soon we can start offering. Other food co-ops are doing this. They call it Roundup at the Register,
Mm.
and then the low-income owners, so they have to join the co-op. And then we know how easy it is to do that. Low-income owners who are shopping with an EBT card or some other proof of need can get an across-the-board discount on their food purchases. So
Nice.
this will help with affordability for the people who really need and consider that very, very important to them and their food
Mhm.
purchases. And my thought was, I know that EBT cards don't buy paper products. They don't pay for tampons. They don't pay for toilet paper, when we
Right,
need these
right.
things. So maybe we can work out a way where the EBT card low income shoppers who are owners can throw in, 6 toilet papers or a box of tampons or some diapers or the
Mhm.
things that just aren't even covered with their EBT card.
Right,
So it's
right.
kind of thinking outside of the box because we're community owned. What does our community need? How can we be supportive and
Mhm.
still run a business, make a profit? But we're not having to make some huge profit that goes out of the community to the rich people who own the thing.
Right.
All the money stays and gets
Circulate.
recirculated. Mhm.
Nice, in the community. So we've heard about the investors, we've heard about what your vision is for this food co-op, but who's providing the produce? Are
All
these
right,
local
so what's
farmers?
on the shelves?
Yeah.
That's the thing everybody wants to know, including me. So our plan is to really stock as much local as possible. So whenever things in season, strawberries are in season, they're going to be Michigan strawberries. You're not going to be buying these California fake strawberries, in the middle of our strawberries. But in the winter, we'll have California strawberries, or wherever they're in season. But we're just really trying to shorten up the amount of miles our food travels. So it helps with sustainability and global warming by, having stuff closer in as much as possible. But it's going to be a full service grocery store. So we will have toilet paper and laundry detergent, everything somebody would expect to get at a grocery store. You just won't have to go through a cereal aisle that has so many Rice Krispies in a row, and
Yeah.
so cornflakes. It'll be okay. Yeah, there's Rice Krispies, there's cornflakes, So you'll still have choices, and we'll listen to our owners. What do you want on the shelves? We'll be taking surveys. We'll probably be collecting your receipt from when you go to your regular grocery store. What are you shopping for? And sort of do some statistical analysis of what our owners are
Yeah.
looking for in a grocery store, and meet that need as best we can.
Okay. So there's one question I think on the site that mentioned like how is this different than like the Whole Foods grocery store and
Well, it's going to be similar in what's on the shelves because Whole Foods is supplied by UNFI. It's their grocery distributor that they use. And all the food co-ops also use UNFI. So it's very similar quality for the national stuff that you're bringing in that's not local. So the difference is Whole Foods is now owned by Amazon. So it's that extractive economy. You shop at Whole Foods and all the money that's made goes to Jeff Bezos, who has plenty.
He absolutely does.
And their workers are being paid, as little as
Yeah.
possible because they're stockholders. Everybody wants, the money siphoned off. With a food co-op, similar quality, if not better quality, fair food quality. I know that Whole Foods stresses that too, but look at who has the power. That's where it comes down to. Who has the power? Who has the
Right.
say?
Right.
In a food co-op, we have the say.
Yeah.
When you
And
go to Whole Foods, they have the say. In the food co-op, yeah, we care about how the food is raised, but we don't charge extra for you to feel good about doing that.
yeah. Yeah.
It's like, let's just run this as lean a ship as we can for us. And we know our local farmers. We know what they're doing with their cows and their sheep and their chickens. And we can let you know that these chickens, look, they're running around. We'll probably have a picture of them running around outside.
That'd be nice.
Well, meet the farmers. Those up there. Yeah.
That'd be nice. So it sounds like for the most part, not only is it the community have a say so, but the circulation of the funds go for local farmers, even though there's like toilet tissue and other
Right. I mean, yeah, we're going to
but
buy national stuff, but
right, but local is the key point in this. So that's great.
and local food producers, somebody's got a cottage kitchen going. We can at least have a display space so they can test out their products. Have little survey forms where people try their product and write, well, it's really spicy, or love the spice or whatever. And the ones that the co-op feels we might as well have these on our shelves because this is really a good product, we'll start stocking them. We might even have some way for the backyard farmer to bring in their extra zucchini and their extra green peppers and
Nice.
have a way for them to get a little money from that. The co-op
Yeah.
will buy their produce, put it in with the rest, and yeah.
These are great ideas. And I also like, briefly to change the topic, I also like that on your website, on the first page, when you go down, it doesn't take very long, but it tells you how many owners there are before you reach that goal that you're looking for.
Right. Yep. And I update that when we get new owners. In fact, I'll go in right after this one.
Good. So, just to change the topic, because there is a beautiful painting behind you. Can you tell me a little bit about that wonderful painting?
Yeah. Yeah. My husband studied art in college at the University of Michigan, and this is one of his paintings.
Wow, that is gorgeous.
Yeah.
Nice.
And we've got his paintings all over the house. It's great.
I believe it. I
Goes
believe it.
in. And he is also a co-opper. He has worked his entire career with student housing co-ops
Oh, okay.
at the campuses. He's been at Michigan State, University of Michigan, University of Texas, which is where we met.
Mm.
We're kind of a co-op family. And our
Yeah.
and our son helped found the GRAC co-ops in Grand Rapids, which are some housing co-ops in
Okay.
here. Hill.
Nice.
Mm,
Wow. So co-op is circulating in your household.
yeah, we're true believers.
But it's good that you guys have that approach to life. I think that's great with helping the community. We have a little bit of time left. Zoom has popped up a time limit for
I
me.
see it. Yeah.
Yeah. So before we end, how can people get in contact with you? And are there any events or opportunities for them to learn more about your program?
Well, the best thing is go to the website, and it's grfoodcoop.com. And you can reach out to us that way. You can send us an email that way with any questions you may have. You can become an owner there. Just, it says become an owner. Click that button, fill out the application, make your payment. And you can buy your full share or your standard share for 250 over time. So if you can do $25 a month, that works too. There's a Facebook page, there's an Instagram page. And sometimes we have community informational meetings that'll just look on the website at the events page. And our monthly top circle meetings are open, and that's mentioned on the website. And the top circle is our governing board.
Great. So if you are watching, I'm here with Linda Jones, who is the president and founder of the Grand Rapids Food Co-op, and she is giving some great information. If you're interested in contributing to this wonderful program, or you want to learn more, hey, just go on the website. I make sure I put the website down here, and hit contact us, hit become an owner. I mean, there's so many different options on there. There's frequently asked questions that you can look at. Make sure that you contact, do whatever you need to do so you can be a part of your community and what is done and said in your community.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you, Linda, for joining me today.
Yay. Thanks for having me, Reynelda. And I'm so glad you're a fellow co-op owner.
Yeah, I am. I didn't mention that, but I am fellow co-opper. So I should see a little more of you attend some of those meetings when I actually do attend them.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay. So
Right.
thank you, and we'll see you soon.